More about that story. Joining us in studio here on Worldview, on my far right is Ambassador Jimmy Makwach Deng. He's Deputy Head of Mission South Sudan. Also with us this afternoon is Francesco Rigamonti, Regional Humanitarian Advisor with Oxfam. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us. I'll begin with you, Ambassador. What's going on in your country? We just had one of the officials there say the government should not be blamed. It should be calls to call for accountability from the rebels. But this is the government. Why should the rebels be pulled to account?
Well, thank you for having me. First of all, I want to say condolences to the 3 Kenyans and the 3 South Sudanese.
So that's a confirmation.
Who lost their lives in an ambush that took place over the weekend.
Yeah.
And as a government, it is our interest, best interest, to protect the lives of such individuals who have sacrificed their life in order to help the suffering population of South Sudan. It's very unfortunate that they lost their life in the line of duty when they were serving the people that really needed their help. With that being said, the conflict in South Sudan has been going on since 2013. Many people have guns in their own hands. And as such, as you have heard from the government fully support the humanitarian efforts that are being done by different organizations. And as such, we want to protect the lives of those who have put their lives on line in order to help our people. And it is in our best interest to make sure that security is provided for them.
All right. Let me ask you, as part of the aid organizations, humanitarian, what does this indicate and mean for you working in South Sudan?
Well, unfortunately, first of all, I would like to start again, expressing my condolences for the families of our colleagues that lost their life in this attack. South Sudan is a very difficult context where to operate. It's a very unsecure context. Since 2013, we lost 79 humanitarian workers in the country. So, unfortunately for us, we know the challenges that operating in such a context implies. So, I have to say that is one of the most difficult areas. Now, we are proceeding to evaluating and reevaluating our security procedure and our security measures. But unfortunately, we knew even before that South Sudan was a difficult context.
Yeah, but there isn't talk of pulling out at this point.
Well, I think it's a bit premature to have this kind of discussion. As soon as we are concerned, we are looking at the situation, but we haven't taken this decision yet.
Okay. So, Ambassador, I think I tried to interject there. So it's been confirmed it's 3 Kenyans and 3 South Sudanese that were killed in this attack.
Yes.
Are there measures that have been put in place, knowing the prevalent situation now in your country, to ensure that aid workers, specifically as they come to help, there is extra security, there are extra measures as they're moving in different parts of the country?
Indeed, I think the government is trying its best in order to escort all these convoys that are going to different locations with personnel and humanitarian assistance. And as you have heard, it was a convoy that was attacked. And unfortunately, we condemned in the strongest term possible.
So did they have security accompanying them?
Well, yes, it was a convoy that is being accompanied, yes.
Okay.
So they move in a convoy and security is provided. But sometimes there are these isolated cases where, such incident would happen. And as Francisco said, these organizations, as I said earlier, are trying to help our people. There is no need for organizations to pull out. I think the government is trying its best, as I said, in order for us to rectify the situation and to really protect the life of these individuals who are helping our population.
Yeah, because the Security Council, gave a stern warning to this kind of attacks on aid workers. And the question begs, as the situation appears to be degenerating, what extra? So there has been security provided, but does the government feel, in a sense, it's losing control?
We are not losing control of any situation. If you look at the current situation in South Sudan, the conflict is all over the country. And there are some areas controlled by the government. There are some areas that are controlled by the rebels. And there are also individual criminals who are also launching attack on either the government or organizations, and even the civil population. So we are not losing control of anything. I think individuals need to be held to account, and especially the rebels who are not for peace and try to create insecurity in order for the organization to decide, as Francesco was saying, either to consider pulling out. But in that case, we are asking our international partners and organizations not to be scared of this situation, but we will try our best as much as we can to protect them when we have the control, yes.
Rigamonti, you painted a bit of a picture for us that going in there as aid workers, you're aware of the situation you're going into. But what are the concerns with organizations such as Oxfam and also with the individual aid workers who actually get deployed to South Sudan?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that as an organization, we consider very important the security and safety of our colleagues. So that's why we are looking at this kind of event very carefully and with a lot of attention. So for us, it's the foremost importance that our staff, both national and international, they are actually given the possibility to work in a relatively safe environment. At this point in time, I think that our main concern is the humanitarian situation is worsening in South Sudan. So what we need more at this point in time is more access to the affected population, more aid going to the people that they are in need. I mean, I'm not part of a political organization, so I can talk mainly based on humanitarian reasons. So my main concern at the moment is we are given as humanitarian organization access and the possibility to help the people. We are talking about like 7.5 million people in South Sudan in need of aid. There is like influx of refugees going to Ethiopia, going to Uganda, where we operate as well. So for us, the most important thing is to make sure that the humanitarian operators are given the possibility to do their work and to answer to the humanitarian mandate. And humanitarian mandate says that we have to help the people in need. Humanitarian needs comes first.
All right. Ambassador, explain to somebody who's wondering whether rebel or whoever are these that are attacking aid workers, what is motivating them to stop assistance reaching those that are in desperate need?
Well, their motive is to create insecurity, and they have all the reasons to make sure that the government is blamed for anything that they do. And as such, you know, we have to declare these people as a negative force, because they are not up to no good for the people of South Sudan as well as the region. Because looking at this situation, we need the humanitarians, the humanitarian assistance, we need the humanitarian aid workers in order to help the current situation that we are in. And as such, we don't need any situation that will deter them from access to the population.
Yes. What's the way forward, Rigamonti, as we bring this to a close? Going forward, a situation as you've described appears to be getting worse by the day, but still there are those people in dire need, and you are, your mandate is to reach out and help as many as you can. But with the dire situation, you also don't want to put your own people at risk. But what at large is the way forward, not just for Oxfam, but other institutions, do you think, going forward?
Well, I just would like to quote what the humanitarian coordinator in South Sudan said, and this is asking all the people in power to ensure security and safety of the humanitarian workers operating in the country, because that's what we need to have, a good operating environment, and then for the international community not to look back and not to avoid engaging with the difficult humanitarian situation that we face in South Sudan.
All right. And Ambassador, you're welcome. Ambassador, finally for you, is there more that the world can do in assisting South Sudan?
Well, we are grateful for all the assistance that have been given to the country, especially our civil population. We continue to call on the region and the international partners to help the situation in South Sudan in order for peace to come. And we will work closely, and we are coordinating with the UN agencies in South Sudan in order to reach the population that needs humanitarian aid.
All right. Many thanks. Ambassador Jimmy Makwach Deng, who is the Deputy Head of Mission, South Sudan, as well as Francesco Rigamonti, Regional Humanitarian Advisor with Oxfam, with us here on Worldview. Let's put up that triple question we're asking you from that.